welcome back to all of my subscribers, and welcome if this is the first time you're joining me. My name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master, spiritual coach, and an intuitive tarot card reader. And through the work I'm doing here on YouTube, as well as Instagram, TikTok, and my own website, odessamal.com, I deliver messages to you that will help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. So Mercury has just gone retrograde, and we are all going to be feeling it. On top of that, there's other planetary things that are taking place that will be having an effect on us. And so in honor of that, I'm going to be looking into what major obstacle are you going to be facing in the near future, and most importantly, how are you going to overcome it? Because ultimately, that's why all of this happens. So I have 3 piles for you guys to select from. Pile number 1 is partnered with the planet Mars, the planet of passion, drive, and sensuality. And then pile number 2 is partnered with Mercury, the planet of communication, adaptability, and rationality. And then pile number 3 is partnered with the planet Saturn, the planet of structure, obligation, and ambition. So I'm going to give you guys a second to select your pile. You'll be able to see a close-up of the cards as well as the planets right after I'm done speaking, and I will see you in a moment. Hi, pile number 1, welcome back. So before I dive into the cards, I want to let you know I'm running a contest this month. It's for a free mini reading with me, and all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and comment on this video, and then on the first of the month, I'll announce the winner on my community tab. So let's dive into your cards. You picked Mars, the planet of passion, drive, and sensuality. And these cards are going to let me know what the obstacle is that you're going to be facing, and then I'll dive into the tarot to find out how you're going to overcome it, because ultimately you are going to overcome this. So let's see what you've got. You have the unseen, grieving, planning and action. And that's interesting because planning and action really makes me think of Mars, because I mentioned that it's the planet of drive. That's really cool. And then you got fire. Obviously, that's connected to Mars. And trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And there is also an alchemical symbol on this card for fire, which you won't be able to see, but promise it's there. Wow. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of Mars energy that's coming forward here. So Mars might be playing important role in your astrology chart. It might be in a prominent placement. That is really interesting. Okay, so the energy that's coming forward here is that there's some sort of major transition or change that's going to be taking place in your life that has a lot to do with how you are seeing things. You got the unseen. Now, traditionally, this card is talking about the unseen realms, so that it, spiritually speaking, would be like everything that we don't see with our physical eyes, but we sense with our psychic sense. So our spirit guides, our ancestors, any of those kinds of energies. But it doesn't just stop there. It can be talking about the secrets that are kept from us. Sometimes it's the secrets that we keep from ourselves, like our self-limiting beliefs. It definitely feels like something is going to come to the surface, and you're going to start seeing things that were kept hidden from you. And like I said, this could be something that you've kept hidden from yourself. It could be that there are some sort of limitations that you've held yourself to, like you didn't give yourself enough credit, or you didn't have enough faith in yourself that you'd be able to achieve what you want. Because, you got the trust your path card. So this is definitely talking about there being something that you want to pursue, something that you would like to accomplish, but you're a little bit hesitant because you're unsure about whether you have what it takes. There's a little bit of like imposter syndrome going on here is the energy I'm getting. And there is going to be some shift in the way that you view yourself, some sort of epiphany that's being symbolized here by this fire, because there is a lot of imagery here that's talking about an awakening. There are two dragons, one black, one white, that's talking about the energy of masculine and feminine, and they are sort of intertwining, which looks a lot like a DNA sequence, and it's talking about a kundalini awakening, a rising of energy, where you come into contact with your higher self, like a deeper awareness of who you are and why you're here. And it just shifts everything in your reality. So for some of you, you might be going through a spiritual awakening. Now, obviously, you guys are most likely spiritual to some degree because you're watching a Picket card. But if you're a return viewer to my channel, there's a really good chance that you're spiritual, because I'm deeply spiritual and we attract what we are. And you are likely hearing me talk about spiritual concepts a lot in my readings. And so this awakening that you're going to be having is going to be giving you some sort of drive or energy, passion to move forward with this purpose of yours. It could be a life purpose. It could be you've really been thinking about moving and you weren't really sure if it was the right choice, you know, like you have been settled finally where you're at, you know, things are going well, but you know, it doesn't feel quite right, and you all of a sudden have this epiphany and you're like, no, I just have to like throw caution to the wind and I have to take a risk. There's definitely something in the works for many of you that has to do with traveling or forward momentum. Like the planning and action card often talks about physical travel. So like I said, you could be moving, you could be going on a vacation, you could be visiting somewhere. But this could also be you taking steps to plan and execute some major shift that you want to take in your life. So it could be you starting your own business. It could be you going back to school. It could be you finally deciding that you're going to put your house on the market and you are going to move to a different neighborhood, or you're going to downsize, or you're going to build your own house. Like there's something that you're planning and executing and you weren't entirely sure that you'd be able to cross the bridge, right? Or sort of close the gap. Like there's something that's been holding you back, because there's the energy here of like there's a pencil that's sort of creating this bridge between these two parts of the map. And then here on the Trust Your Path card, there is like a gateway here, and there's sort of a pathway here as well, like two separate areas. And then I get that same sort of energy here with the two intertwining dragons. Like there's two pathways and you weren't entirely sure which way to go. What my guides are telling me is there was the safe route that you were faced with, and then there was the scary route. And the scary route involved you taking a risk and charging forward with what your heart is telling you to do, but not knowing how it's going to work out, because it doesn't necessarily follow logic based on what you've been doing in the past, or maybe what other people have told you. That might also have something to do with the unseen, right? You might, you know, tell people that you have this goal and this ambition, and all of a sudden you finally see that they aren't really supporting you, or they're not giving back to the relationship the way that you had been giving to the relationship. And all of a sudden it's like this eureka moment. But whatever it is, there's going to be a level of sadness involved in this, because of course, realizing that people don't have your back and are not putting in the effort that you've been putting in is a liberating experience, because then you can start moving towards the people that are actually going to have your back, right? That could be the transition. You're moving away from one group of people and you're opening yourself up to people that are more in alignment, that will be more supportive. that possibly have the same interests and drive and are passionate about the same things as you, that embody this Mars energy, possibly help you with school or business or something like that. But leaving everything that you had before is sad, right? It could be people, it could be leaving like a city or a town that you really love, or leaving a job where you really enjoyed yourself. It's never entirely uplifting experience whenever we go through a transition. It can be sort of bittersweet, because ultimately to have a renewal, you do have to shed the old. And that's the energy that is coming forward, that you're going to be making this transition. You're going to have secrets or some epiphany come to you. Something is going to be revealed, right? Because there's eyes here on this card as well. The butterfly here, that transition. Even here, like there's imagery here that's really giving me the feeling of suitcases for some reason. So this could be like you're packing up and you're leaving a relationship, possibly. You know, it could be something like that, like a marriage. It isn't necessarily. It could be any number of things. So let's dive into the tarot and find out how you guys are going to be overcoming this obstacle now that we kind of have an idea of what it is. So how is pile number 1 going to be overcoming the obstacle? How is pile number 1 going to be overcoming this obstacle? How is pile number 1 going to be overcoming this obstacle? Okay, so the first card that jumped out, I'm sure you guys saw it, was the Justice card. Jumped out, landed right on grieving. So for some of you, there might be new information that comes to light about something that was unjust. It could be that somebody was lying to you or mistreating you. Like I was saying before, you're seeing someone's behavior more accurately now. It could be that, you know, you finally realize that there's never going to be an opportunity for upward mobility in your workplace, or that you're finally at a place where you realize that you and your friend group, you're kind of like going down 2 separate paths. But if it's been something that was sort of unjust, like someone didn't give back to you, like you were giving to the relationship and they weren't giving anything back to you, you are going to have major success. And ultimately, this is going to bring you into a place of empowerment, and you are going to get justice. Because like I said, the Justice card fell into grieving. So you might be sad for a time, but ultimately it's going to bring you justice, because out of this grieving process, out of this renewal, you're going to become the Empress. Master Manifester, like the embodiment of all of the queens, being able to have complete authority in her life, being beautiful and empowered, strong, a leader, being able to magnetize beautiful things to her, as well as people that honor and respect her, and really have the power to grow everything that she needs in her life to feel abundant and full. So this is beautiful. This is also a mothering card. So this could be you transitioning into a place where you are going to have a child, or you're playing the role of a mother where you are very fulfilled in that capacity. It could be like you're actually mothering a child, but it could be that you're being a mentor to somebody else and you are feeling so fulfilled and abundant as a result of that. Let's see. Yeah, somebody, okay. Okay, for many of you, there is something that's going to come forward, that some information that's going to come forward about some manipulation or deceit, because underneath here, the card that was facing down is the 7 of Swords. This is a card talking about manipulation and getting away with something. So there is likely that somebody has been lying or betraying you. That's the word that just came forward to me. And you are going to find out about this, and it's going to be very, very painful for you. Now, like I said, it could be a person, but it could be like you've been working and slaving away at an office under the false pretense that you were going to get like shares in the company, or you're going to be promoted, or you're going to be the lead of a particular project or a department. And it was just like they were blowing smoke up your butt to get you to work harder, because you have been working very hard. The 10 of Wands is a card that's talking about carrying heavy burdens, and like burdens that are so great that you almost can't carry them any longer. Like you've been doing a lot for other people, and you're finally going to get to a place where you are standing your ground. And you are telling people that what your expectations are of either the relationship or the dynamic in the workplace, or you're just, if you're not fully coming out and saying like, hey, this is how I feel about things, because that's not everyone's style. You're doing it energetically. You know, you are dedicating more time and energy to the things that you want and less energy to the managing the emotions or the needs of people that aren't giving anything back, or it's dynamics that are not giving anything back, right? Like it could be, that could be manifesting in a bunch of different ways. But through that action, you are going to be finding balance. Temperance is talking about balance in the physical world and the emotional world, because there is imagery of both the earth and the water, and it's talking about a brand new day, and that is coming forward. All of this pain that you're going to go through is going to bring you to a place of deeper understanding. It's going to help you to cross the bridge. It's closing out a cycle, moving into the next cycle, so that you're in an empowered state, like the Empress. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to be going into a hermit phase. Now, the hermit phase can be long, it can be short, but ultimately it means that you're going to be taking time on your own to do some self-reflection. You're going to be looking within to figure out what your guiding light is, right? The hermit is always carrying a lantern, and inside the lantern is a star. The star is a symbol of what your heart is calling you to do, right? That's what this fire is. That's what you trust your path. You're going to reconnect with that, and then you're going to start taking steps towards that. All the energy that you were putting towards this dynamic, this 7 of Swords person, place, or thing, you're going to redirect that, right, with Temperance, finding that balance, towards your wish fulfillment. And ultimately, that's going to transition you to becoming the Empress. So this is master level energy. You know, you're really, really going to completely shift and change your entire life. It's so beautiful. And you bring yourself justice, right? You will experience pain. And I know that sucks, and you probably don't want to hear that, right? Like, who wants to hear that? But you are going to get justice really, really quickly. So it's like that energy of, you know, you cry and then you feel better, like right after. That kind of thing. It's not going to be a prolonged period of you in deep sorrow, is what my guides want me to say. Like, you're going to transition out of this really, really, really fast. So let me get a couple of final cards for you guys. Just some final guidance for you on what you can do, or any like sort of helpful words from Spirit. What would you like pile number 1 to know about, this situation? What would you like pile number 1? Whoa. I feel like something else flipped over. I guess not. Okay, so the first card that you got is advancement. A strong energy is propelling you forward. Follow the steerings of your heart. What? Magic. You're watching magic happen. Like, that's crazy. That's literally exactly what these cards are talking about. Yeah. You're going to be moving forward on your path. I feel so giddy now. Whenever that kind of thing happens, I'm like, what? Oh my God, miracles everywhere, miracles. Okay, so follow your heart. It's guiding you towards your abundance. That advancement that you wanted when you were dedicating the energy to whatever the Seven of Swords is, you're gonna have that. The Justice card is gonna come into play. The scales will be balanced. You got no limitations. You're a celestial being with unlimited potential. There is much for you to share. You are gonna start seeing yourself as you truly are. And for those of you who are already on this spiritual path, you've already started to go through an awakening and things are starting to shift and change. And you might even be experiencing sort of mystical and magical things, right? I mean, the kind of things that take place and you're like, am I crazy? You're not crazy. It's just the magic of the universe revealing itself to you. It's the unseen realms. And those that are spiritually gifted do have those experiences, right? Like every medium who ever talked to spirits, for example, all have those thoughts at some point. So you may be going through a shift in a transition on a spiritual level where you're going to be gaining access to some of your gifts. That won't resonate for all of you, but regardless, you have been limiting yourself to some restrictive, the energy I'm getting is that you've been sort of measuring your potential by other people's limiting beliefs. And you're going to finally see that you're so much more than that. Then you got truth. See your light, know your power, have the courage to walk your truth. Again, same energy, right? Know what your true potential is and walk your path. You got release anything that keeps you from your path of authenticity. What was I talking about? Like all the negative energy, anything that doesn't serve you, you need to either limit your sort of interaction with that energy or release it altogether. So it could be like you are in a toxic work environment, this, they treat you badly, you're getting paid like next to nothing, and it's time for you to move on to something else, but you were sort of questioning whether you would find something better. You're definitely going to find something better. If it's people, some people you can't really eliminate from your life. Others you can. So use your discretion with that. But if it's a person that you can't entirely release from your life, my advice to you is to just sort of limit your availability, or you withdraw a little bit, right? And if you can withdraw a little bit, then you can have the energy redirected to this hermit phase. It doesn't mean you have to cut the person entirely out of your life. It just means that you have to sort of redirect some of that energy towards yourself and your own healing, because that's what's going to help you to empower yourself and become the Empress. Then, once you're in that stage, you'll have epiphanies about how you can sort of handle the dynamics with some of these more difficult people in your life, right? Either you have the courage to finally, cut the cord with this person and walk away entirely, or you finally don't feel the need to sort of argue with them or get them to believe you or be on side with you, because you just recognize that they're never going to do that, and you just cut it there. You don't need their approval. You don't care anymore. Or you find a new way of expressing yourself and you guys come together on a deeper level that way, because all of a sudden you have increased communication skills, something like that, or an opportunity comes to you. It could play out a whole bunch of different ways. So, take from that what resonates for you. Then you got Starseed. Raise the vibration of the planet through your radiant, loving light. This would definitely connect with the energy I was picking up for some of you that are going through a really intense spiritual awakening. You have spiritual gifts. Those are increasing. I relate, right? When I was going through all of the different stages of my own spiritual awakening, my skills were increasing, and it was really, really weird. It was really kind of freaky, because I was having insights into things that I couldn't have possibly known, and I had always had psychic abilities, but like once it's your time to step into that role and play your part, it's like they increase 300% like overnight, and that can be really unsettling. So, you know, just know that you're on the right path. Regardless of what elements of this resonate for you, you are on the right path and you are raising your vibration. And then the final card that you got is Blue Star. Follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. And I was talking about your guiding light and this star. Oh my God, I just love doing this for you guys. This is incredible. Just tune in to, they want me to say, the portal of your heart. Basically, stop, take time to just think about what your heart is telling you, right? Like if you can start to practice sort of like what your body feels like when you have an affirmative yes and when you have an affirmative no, you're going to start to have a better grasp of what your intuition is telling you, right? So I'll give you a little exercise, right, for those of you that are interested. When you're trying to determine whether it's an affirmative yes or no, you can start off by practicing asking yourself questions that you absolutely know the answer is yes or no, right? Like, you know, if you are allergic to a particular item or not. Like, I am allergic to dairy. Well, if you're not allergic to dairy, your body will react. You'll feel something, especially in your heart chakra, that for myself, it feels kind of like a drain on my energy. It's almost like a feeling right in my chest. And when it's an affirmative yes, like, I am allergic to nightshades, which is absolutely true and a total pain in the ass for me, I will feel like, yeah, you know? So you practice, and you can practice with things that are positive and things that are negative, and just sort of get a feeling for the things that you know to be true or false. And then once you get a sense of what your body is communicating with you and how your intuition communicates with you through your physical senses, then you can apply that to the things you don't know the answers to. It will help you navigate through this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Such a pleasure. Don't forget about the contest. Subscribe to the channel and comment on this video. If any of you are interested in having a one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my booking information and services are available there. I do tarot card readings, of course. I do mediumship, channeling sessions. I go into the Akashic Records. I can look at your past lives. I do Reiki, crystal healing. I do spiritual coaching as well. So if you wanted any help with like transitioning through the spiritual journey that you're on, or any other kind of coaching that you might need, you know, it's basically a live tarot session where I use my channeling abilities as well. You can find all that information on my website. Please like and share this if you feel inclined to. It's a huge help to me, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 2, welcome back. So before we get into your cards, I just want to mention I'm running a contest this month, and you can win a free mini reading with me. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and comment on this video, and then on the first of the month, I'll announce the winner on my community tab. So you picked Mercury. So Mercury is the planet of communication, adaptability, rationality, and these cards are going to let me know what barrier it is. What is the obstacle that you're going to face in the next little while? And then I'll dive into the tarot to find out exactly how you're going to overcome it, because ultimately you are going to overcome this. So let's see what you have. You have the Animal, Reconciliation, Fragmented Energy, the Honoring Path, New Blueprints, and Break the Chain, Ancestral Patterns, Healing, Rewriting the Future. Okay, this actually makes perfect sense. This truly is sort of a classic Mercury retrograde lesson, if you will. The energy that's coming forward to me is that over the next couple of weeks, you are going to be presented with an opportunity to reconcile with another person. There is somebody that's going to be coming forward that wants to either make peace with you or they would like to reconcile with you. It could be like a friend that you had a falling out with and they would like to reestablish the friendship. It could be an ex that wants to rekindle the romance. This could be a family member that you distanced yourself from and they would like to come back into your life. And really, the lesson for you is going to be tied into how you handle that scenario. Now, for some of you, you'll be learning this lesson on an energetic level. And what I mean by that is you won't actually have a physical person come back to try and reconnect with you. You'll have memories of the past come back. You'll have all these bad memories that come up, bubbling up from the depths. And you're like, why am I thinking about this? That happened 10 years ago, or oh God, I forgot that even happened. And it just takes you to this place of like self-loathing and like anxiety. I mean, all the negative stuff that you can feel as a result of a bad memory coming back up. And for you, you'll be learning to transition away from that as well, right? In both cases, whether it's a physical person coming back or just the memories of a physical person, like a past interaction that comes back, ultimately the lesson is the same. Now, whatever the dynamic is for this past interaction, person, memory, it really hurt you. It kept you in a place of disempowerment and it made you feel like there was something wrong with you or there was a piece of you missing. It could be heartbreak. It could be that you were deeply betrayed by someone. The fragmented energy card definitely indicates that. There was something lost. You know, it could be like you went through a breakup with someone and then you've never really been able to have that deep bond of love again because the pain of it was just so great that you were never able to trust somebody the way that you had prior to this heartbreak happening. This could be, I'm getting this strongly for coming through, that it's a connection with a parent. That there is a parent in your life, maybe they fit on the narcissistic spectrum. Maybe they were just really absent and you had this feeling like you were never enough and you were like constantly trying to meet their expectations, but everything that you did always fell short of the bar that they were asking you to reach. And you are going to rewrite all of that. You're going to break the chains of the, fear, guilt, the self-limiting beliefs, all of that. You're going to break those chains and you're going to rewrite your future. And as a result of that, by rewriting the future, making different decisions now so different opportunities take place for you in the future. In a way, you rewrite the past because you've empowered yourself. You no longer have to look back at the past through the same lens, because when we feel like we're the problem, right? You look back at every single situation that's ever happened to you and you're like, oh yeah, I screwed that up. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh no, why did I do that? When you come to a place of empowerment and you realize that the person that hurt you is leading with their ego, that's what the animal card is talking about. It's talking about a person that isn't thinking things through. They're just reacting clearly just from impulse. They're reacting from their animalistic tendencies. They're not necessarily coming from a place of deep thought, contemplation, and empathy. That is an enlightened perspective. And once you recognize that they're just purely going on ego, you can actually look back on all of those situations in the past and you're like, oh my God, I was manipulated there. This person wasn't there for me in this situation. I really tried to do the best for them. Look at all the energy I put in. And all of a sudden, everything shifts and changes. You no longer see yourself as this broken individual that isn't worthy of love because you were born wrong, or, you know, whatever this negative person has convinced you of. You all of a sudden start seeing yourself as the beautiful person that's worthy of honors and praise and love. That's what the honoring path is talking about. And you rewrite everything. The new blueprint is you diving into your energy of compassion and love and giving that back to yourself. That raises your vibration, and then it's just like doorway after doorway after doorway, flinging open for you so that you can walk forward and have like a totally different experience of life. You're going to balance out your energies. This is card number 6, which is talking about a balancing of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, which is really a balancing of your empathetic nature and your driven nature, you know, the part of you that wants to go out and be seen. And so for some of you, there might be a person that comes back and they've actually worked through their ego and they are legitimately wanting to have some sort of reconciliation with you. This could be like, I'll give you one example, a parent that all of a sudden realizes that they really missed out on having a relationship with you because they were at the office working and working and working, and now they have remorse for that and they express that to you. That's going to be the key. That if this person is genuine, they're going to be able to express themselves with clear, direct examples of how they screwed up and how they've thought about it and why they see it differently now and how they're going to change it in the future. And then they're going to back that up with actions. If someone comes back to you and they say, you know, I'm really sorry if I ever hurt you, or I'm sorry for everything I ever did to hurt you, that's just sort of a blanket statement. And yeah, at face value, it's like, oh, that's nice, they're apologizing. But they're not getting into the specifics, and if they're not able to get into the specifics, there's a really good chance that they never actually looked at the specifics, right? If they're going to be genuine, they need to be able to highlight exactly what it was that hurt you. What were all those things that took away all of these pieces of your own soul that made you feel all of these wounds? They need to be able to take ownership for that. And, you know, depending on who the person is, you might get more or less of that, right? If it's a falling out of between you and, say, like an old coworker or a friend or something, and you were close, but maybe you didn't like allow them to dive into the depths of your being with you, that's one thing. They might not give you direct, like a whole laundry list of direct examples of, you know, how they've changed. But if it's a parent or an ex-lover, they should be able to give you clear, direct answers on, or not even answers, because that implies that you're going to be the one presenting them with like, do you feel bad about this? No, you should be able to say nothing at all. And they should be able to say, I am sorry that I did this. I feel ashamed. I feel shame for that because now I see things from a different perspective. I see what you were trying to do. I see how much effort you put in. And I'm working to now change X, Y, and Z so that that will never be an issue for us ever again. And then they have to hold true to that going forward. Now, for others of you, this will be a matter of the person comes forward. They give you sort of like a shallow, apology. And it's really you're gonna break the chains when you say thank you and you just let them drift out of your life again. You know, you don't have to necessarily confront them, you know, because ultimately that might actually end up causing you more suffering, because a person like that is likely pretty skilled in the art of deflection, and they're most likely gonna tell you something that's defensive, right? And then you end up in that same sort of cat and mouse game again, and like that won't help you to have this new blueprint, raise the vibration. You know, you'll just say, okay, thank you, I really appreciate you saying that. And you know, when they say to you, you, oh, we should get together sometime, you just say, yeah, absolutely. And then you just never call them back. You know, you don't need to like have an argument, and you don't owe them anything more than that because they already had a chance with you and they burned the bridge, right? Like, you don't have to extend yourself to somebody else just because they asked. It's now time for you to dedicate all that energy towards yourself. So let's see what you're going to do to overcome this. My guides are reminding me that, like I was saying before, there's also the possibility that this is going to be memories that come up, and it isn't an actual person, and you don't have to like necessarily confront anyone or respond to anyone's inquiries. And in that case, you just feel the feelings. You feel the feelings, you cry, you let it go. In some cases, this might be bad feelings that come up from about someone who's passed away. And that can be really, really traumatic because, you know, nobody wants to think negative things about somebody who's already crossed over, especially when there's no way to resolve it. But you can resolve it for yourself by redefining it in your own mind, like I was saying, telling yourself, you know what? I deserved better than that, and I'm going to give better to myself going forward. And honestly, say the things you need to say. Like, I'm a psychic medium. There are spirits around us at all times. If your dad hurt you, if your mom hurt you, if your grandparents hurt you, if, you know, your brother, your sister, if anyone who's crossed over hurt you, tell them. You know, they are more than happy to carry that now. You know, like that will help balance out the energy, and that's a loving act that they can do for you. Tell them, don't feel like you're gonna negatively impact them. They are seeing things from a different perspective now. They are not the person that you remember them to be. They're enlightened now because they're on the other side. So tell them. It can dramatically help. Okay, so how is pile number 2 going to overcome this obstacle? How is pile number 2 going to overcome this obstacle? Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Okay, let's see. Whoop. All right, you got lots of cards here. Let's see what you've got. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay. So, for some of you, there's definitely an ex that's wanting to come back from the past. There's strong energy here that is talking about someone who is coming forward with false promises. The Seven of Swords is talking about somebody who has been deceptive, who has lied to you, that has caused you heartbreak. The Three of Swords. This person presented themselves to you, and they were, you've got here the Queen of Cups in reverse, and you've also got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and you've got the Ace of Wands in reverse, and you've got the Hanged Man in reverse, and the Emperor. So all of these cards fell together. So this is all one storyline. So for some of you, you're going to have someone who is going to come back from the past that likely was some person of importance in your life. Likely this is somebody who you had a romantic partnership with, but it doesn't necessarily mean it was somebody that you had a romantic partnership with. It could be a parental figure. And they came to you in the past and presented themselves as someone who was very compassionate, like the Queen of Cups. But they were in their shadow. The Queen of Cups in the reverse is like a covert narcissist, somebody who plays mind games, that plays the victim, that constantly is guilt tripping you and making you feel like you're the source of all of the pain in their life. And you are constantly defending yourself and feeling like you're never enough. And this is somebody who acted like they were doing a lot for you. They were taking action. They were doing things like maybe, you know, pretending like they were your best friend, but yet when you realized that, you know, you were the one that was constantly reaching out to them, calling them, texting them, and you finally stopped, you realize that you didn't hear from them for like months on end. That kind of energy, right? The Knight of Pentacles in the upright would be someone taking action, moving forward in the physical world, but this is in the reverse. This is someone who's saying that they're doing that, but they're not actually doing it. They're going to come back and they're going to say they want a new beginning and that they have changed, right? Like the Ace of Wands in the upright. And they're going to say that they've changed and they're seeing things from a different perspective, but you got the Hanged Man in the reverse. That's just words, right? This new beginning, they're just saying that. Everything is going to be exactly the same. Nothing has changed. They haven't learned anything. Now, they might have had minor shifts in their perspective, but they haven't gone in and done the deep dive. They haven't finally gone and like battled the beast, right? The animal. You have. The Strength card is talking about you going in and battling whatever that voice is inside you that told yourself that you deserve this, or this is the transition you're going to be going through now. There's going to be a major epiphany, some sort of awakening for you, where finally you tame your own wild beast and you're like, no, this doesn't work for me anymore. I deserve better, and I'm going to close out this cycle because I want to be happy, and it's going to bring you fast-paced change into alignment. Once you do that, once you finally say no more of this, whether that's physically saying it or just energetically, like you're moving away from that, you just like divorce yourself, like you ask, I mean, if you're a spiritual person and you are in connection with your spirit guides, ask them for help. They can't help you unless you ask, because we have free will. So just ask, just say, help me to release this person. You can do a cord cutting, to let this person go. Or you physically just block their number. That's a great way of letting somebody go. And you are going to transition into a whole new reality. You got the Wheel of Fortune, which is talking about the end of karmic cycles, positive shifts and changes. But you also got the World, which is talking about the completion of a cycle, but bringing you to a place where you're finally going to get the things that you want. And what you want is great partnerships, people that support you, something to celebrate, like the Three of Cups. You also want to be abundant in your life, the King of Pentacles. You want to not only be successful in your career, and you want to have great paycheck. You want money in the bank, right? You want to have the beautiful things around you so you can have a comfortable, nice life. That looks different for every single person, but really feeling successful, to be able to survey and look around everything that you've accomplished and in a concrete way to be able to say, I did this. Look at me. I did this. And you're going to come to a place where you have that higher knowledge. Partially this transition is being brought on somewhat for the spiritual realm. Now that may or may not even register for you, right? The Hierophant is talking about there being spiritual insight that comes from the higher realms. But this could be this tarot card reading. It could be all of a sudden, everything that I'm telling you, all of a sudden starts to unfold and you're like, oh my God, she was right. And it just shifts and changes everything for you because I'm telling you exactly what you need to do to bring yourself to a place where you are going to be happy. And it's going to guide you towards your wish fulfillment. And it's also give you an opportunity to do some self-reflection, right? Mercury retrograde is often a time where we're sort of encouraged energetically to sort of start looking within, having some time on our own. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, right? It could be you just take one evening to yourself to sit and just think about what's going on, right? Don't make any rash decisions. If a physical person comes back into your life, don't make any rash decisions in regards to that. I wouldn't want you to rush into something, based on, okay, my guys just said flattery. So whoever this person is, they are very good with their words. and they might be very flattering towards you. Just take a moment, right? That's another lesson of the Hermit. Just take time to think about it before you take any action, and then try and listen to what your higher self, your intuition, right? Like try and listen to what your like logical brain is telling you versus what your emotion mind is telling you. So let me get some final cards for you, give you some final insight into what you need to do to sort of like close out this obstacle and move forward so you can start something fresh and new. What does pile 2 need to do in order to move past this obstacle and start something fresh? Okay, let's see. So you've got choice. By staying conscious in your thoughts, you guide your journey in the direction of your choice. Yes, like just like what I was talking about. Just make a conscious choice. Just give yourself enough time to at least contemplate what you're being presented with, right? Because not all of you are going to have somebody that's toxic come back and present you with this false promise. That's just some of you. There's a lot of you that watch these readings, like it's hundreds, sometimes thousands of people that watch them. So each one of you is going to have a slightly different circumstance. So for some of you, it will be someone who has not changed at all. And for some of you, it will be someone who you could actually reconcile with. But the only way you're going to know is if you pause, contemplate, and then allow yourself time to make the right choice. Then you've got no limitations. You're a celestial being with unlimited potential. There's much for you to share. Yeah, like there's no limitations on what you can achieve. So if there has been energy in the past that sort of led you to feel like you couldn't achieve something, you couldn't achieve your goals and dreams because someone else had limiting beliefs that they projected onto you, that is total falsehood. Like you can do anything. Like the energy that I'm getting here is that you're going to be very successful in this life. If there's a business that you want to, launch, or if there's like a new career field you want to go down, or there's a certain like hobby you want to master, you're going to be able to do it. There's no limitations. Strength, you're being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. And that's what I told you. The turning point will be the strength card. You're going to take control of your own instincts and not react. If somebody is mean to you, you're not going to just react because they would love that, especially the toxic people. They want to set you off because if you react from an emotional place, then they can be like, see, this is why it didn't work out in the first place. And then you end up questioning like, oh, is it me? It's not you. They're like setting you up to fail. But if you can sort of center yourself, know what you want out of life, then if what they're presenting you with isn't in alignment with what you want and who you know yourself to be, then you know that it's a them problem, not a you problem. You got the blue star. Follow the light of your inner compass. The blue star will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. Yeah, listen to your heart, right? That's like the hermit. Looking within so you can have your wish fulfillment. Like, where is your North Star guiding you towards? Your life purpose. Like, what is going to bring you ultimate satisfaction, joy, fulfillment? Starseed, raise the vibration of the planet. You're radiant, loving. Raise the vibration of the planet through your radiant, loving light. You're raising your vibration. That's what you're doing when you're rewriting this new blueprint. You're raising your vibration, and I'll give you a little secret. When you raise your vibration, you, on an energetic level, start to make yourself out of reach to these kinds of people. You'll start to succeed to the point where the people that are really toxic will know that they can't pull a fast one on you and they'll just move on to somebody else. Or those that, are not of the same vibration will feel intimidated by you and won't move forward towards you. But ultimately, that's to your benefit because they're still working through their own issues, and they might end up projecting on you and holding you back. I'm not saying they're bad people. I actually, even the toxic people, I mean, they're not bad people. They're just in a toxic loop, and they need to fix that before they can really be in your life and be, you know, fair to you, right? Like, everyone has gone through things in their life. It's just a matter of like making the choices that are going to help you so that you can get to a place of empowerment like the King of Pentacles, because there are great things that you're meant to do. You got release anything that keeps you from your path of authenticity. What did I just say? That is insane. Yeah, release them. They're not bad people, but they're not right for you right now. Truth. See your truth, know your power, have the courage to walk your truth. Yes, like I was saying, if you know who you are in your heart of hearts, then nothing anyone else says to you can throw you off course, right? They can say that you're a bad person and that all the problems of the world are all because of you, but if you know who you really are, you will let that roll off of your back. I'm not saying it'll be easy. It's never easy, right? A lot of lessons are not easy, but ultimately it gets easier, and then it will transition out of your life altogether, and you are going to overcome this 100%. That's the whole theme of this reading. What is the obstacle that you're going to overcome? This is what you're going to succeed at. This is just how it's going to play out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Don't forget about the contest. Subscribe to the channel and comment on this video. If anyone is interested in having a one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my booking information is available there. I do tarot card readings, I do channeling, mediumship, I look into the Akashic records, I look at past life energy, I do Reiki, crystal healing, and I do spiritual coaching. So I can help you in a live tarot session, guide you through any of the transitions in your life. So this was such a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, file number 3, welcome back. So before I dive into the cards, I want to let you know I'm running a contest this month. You can win a free mini reading with me. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and comment on this video, and then on the first of the month, I will announce the winner on my community tab. So you pick Saturn, the planet of structure, obligation, and ambition. And these cards are going to let me know what the obstacle is that you're going to be facing in the near future. And then I'll dive into the tarot to find out how you're going to overcome it. Because ultimately that is the theme of this reading. What are you going to face and overcome? So you're definitely going to overcome whatever this is. So let's see. You got the Judge, Answers, Friends and Colleagues, Root chakra, and you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Oh, wow. Pile number 3. This is incredible. So the energy that I feel is coming forward is really linked to your worldly success. It is strongly what's coming forward, which also partners really beautifully with Saturn because of the energy of ambition. The energy that I feel is coming forward is you would like to move forward with your business or your career. It could also be a relationship or something that's foundational in your life, something that will establish you and make you feel like you have achieved some success. And you are trying to find that balance in your life with the Judge. This is a card that can be talking about us either judging others or judging ourselves too harshly, and really having to find that balance so that we can see things objectively. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are like pointing the finger at a particular person. It could be that we're surveying the opportunities and we are not seeing things accurately, and we are favoring possibly things that aren't going to work out in our favor, or we're too harshly judging an opportunity because of fear. And what's going to be happening is it looks like there is some sort of answer that's going to be coming forward to you, because that's deeply what you are in search of. I think to a certain degree there has been some answers that have come through to you through your intuition, and I think that they are things that you're being asked to do in the physical world. I definitely get the feeling that many of you are old souls or very spiritually minded people. There might be a large number of people in this particular group that are trying to start spiritually based businesses, because, or it could be any business, right? It could be you're being asked to sort of go out on a limb is the energy that I am getting here. That you are being asked, or you have been asked. This may have already been in the recent past, that you were asked to go out on a limb, and you've been doing all of the things that are necessary to find success and really plant your roots, right? With the root chakra, and you keep waiting, like, where's the transition? Where is this big, like, breakthrough that's going to happen? When does the pain stop is the energy I'm getting. And that also, I really relate to that. You know, for people that do a lot of light work and shadow work, you know, when you're helping people to come through the darkness and come into the light, you can end up feeling like you are isolated and alone, and you're having to do a lot of your own shadow work, because whenever you're going to teach somebody something, you have to physically go through it yourself. You need to know what it feels like, and then you can help guide somebody else through it. And I feel like you're questioning, like, when is this going to end? You thought that you had signs that things were going to improve or charge forward earlier, and it didn't actually come through. It hasn't fully, you know, really manifested the way that you wanted it to. And you are questioning whether you got the right answers through your intuition. You're questioning whether you're making the right choices, the right connections. Can you trust your family and friends? Can you trust your own heart? Did you plant the right roots? Have you done enough of the shadow work? Did you buy the right supplies? Did you take the right classes? Did you, like, has there been enough balance of your efforts? Your efforts in the physical world, your efforts in the emotional world. Like, this Judge card is just all kinds of different, like, energies coming forward with this, whether it's you, like I said, harshly judging yourself or judging others, or, you know, it's the light and dark energy coming forward, action and then withdrawal, all of that. And you're really going to have to battle over the next couple of months is what I'm getting for you. The overthinking of things. You know, we can cognitively understand that we're manifesting our reality, and that if we put in the work and we keep focused and we are optimistic and we, like, visualize our success, that will eventually turn into something in the physical world. But it can take a lot longer than we think it's going to, and that can be really discouraging. And then in those moments where we get discouraged, we're sort of working against ourselves, and it's totally natural. Like, how can you remain 100% positive, thinking that everything is going to work out for yourself when you haven't physically seen the results of that manifesting in your physical life? You know, you haven't seen that manifest in front of your eyes. But one of the things that's being channeled to me is a reminder to have gratitude for the small victories that you have on a day-to-day basis, because what we end up doing often, and I'm very guilty of this, at the beginning of our journey, even the most minor little success, we really celebrate. You know, like, it's like, oh my God, I have 100 subscribers on YouTube. Yay! And it's so amazing, and you're so excited. And it doesn't mean that as you build more success or you build more subscribers, I'm just using this example because, you know, of how we are interacting right now. It doesn't mean that you're not grateful for all of those other subscribers. Of course you are. But you forget to congratulate yourself on all the hard work that you put in to build to that point. You start to look at, like, oh, I need more people to follow me on TikTok, and I need more validation on Instagram, or I need more people to, read my book and tell me how great I am, or more people to be interested in my art. And it's like, if you had only one person buy a piece of your work in the past, it would have made your year. And now you need more and more and more to feel grateful. And we need to sort of come back to a place where we are grateful for the little indications that we're going in the right direction. It keeps our vibration higher, and it actually helps us to achieve our long-term goals sooner, because there's nothing wrong with wanting to have a huge breakthrough on your YouTube channel, or any of your other platforms, or have a huge breakthrough with your business and you're getting so many orders you almost can't keep up. But we have to also have faith that that's in store for us, and have faith that the universe is bringing it to us in divine timing is another thing that's coming forward. One, divine timing is at the mercy of other people. Everyone has free will. So you know how long it takes for you to make a hard decision. Well, everyone else on the planet is having that same struggle. And they need to make decisions for certain things to manifest in your life, right? Everyone has free will. That means that the universe can't just force somebody to make a decision so that a miracle comes to you sooner. Wouldn't that be nice? But it just doesn't work that way. And then the other thing is, you might be thinking that you're ready for the next step, but the universe might not think so. And the reason that it doesn't think so is it knows how much success is actually in store for you. So, for example, you run a business and you run a particular product, and you're still working out how, the shipping is going to be organized, and, your, how you're going to deal with your manufacturers, and how you're going to create, say, the materials, or whatever it is that you're doing. You're still sort of working at the mechanics. Well, if one of your, say you did a video on TikTok about your creative process, if that went viral and all of a sudden, 5 million people saw your product and they just slammed your website with orders, and you hadn't had all of that other stuff organized and, fully thought through, you would feel like you were drowning. You would feel so overwhelmed that it would take away the joy and positive energy of that success. It would turn something that you have been eagerly anticipated into something that is really feeling quite toxic, because the success was more than what you had thought it would be. So just trust that the universe knows what it's doing, right? Because ultimately, the universe wants you to be filled with joy and happiness. So let's get some cards and find out how you're going to overcome this obstacle. How is pile number 3 going to overcome this obstacle? Yes. Oh my God. This is so amazing. Okay. So, like I was saying, you are feeling sort of pessimistic about the things that haven't been working out in your favor. There might have actually been some loss to some degree. You might have had a situation where you thought something was really going to work out for you. If it's not business related, this could be relationship related, and you're like, I feel healed, I feel ready, I want a loving partnership, I want strong friendship bonds, I want, to have the things that I want. And the universe is feeling like you need to work through some of the shadow energy around that. There was some sort of deep pain or loss that took place for you. Whether that is the breakup of a relationship, failure in your business, some sort of conflict with family or friends. But you felt very hurt and pessimistic about the future as a result of this. You felt like you weren't the shining star that the universe knows you to be. You know, the King of Wands in reverse. The King of Wands in the upright is like the entrepreneur, the master manifester. That's why I get the energy that for many of you, this has to do with business and career. You might have lost a job. You might have had your sights on a promotion and it was given to somebody else and it totally threw off your equilibrium. Two of Pentacles in the upright can be talking about finding balance, work-life balance. In the reverse, it's like a complete lack of balance. And everything that you had been trying to manifest didn't come in for you. The Page of Pentacles in the reverse. You had been diligently trying to work on this, but it's all happening for you, not to you. And I know that you probably hate me saying that, right? Because it's like, no, I am doing everything I need to do and I want what I want right now. And I feel the same way in so many instances in my own life. It's like, how much freaking shadow work do I have to do before I can get a win on this? But I had to recognize that like I was saying before, my definition of a win in the past was different than my definition of a win at that particular moment. And I had to reassess. You got the moon. So this is talking about you having to dive into the shadow and find that balance, right? Which is what the Judge was talking about. The two sides of our nature. The empathetic, compassionate, and the more driven side. The part of us that is compassionate as well as sympathetic and, what's the word I'm looking for? Tolerant of others. And the part of ourselves that has no tolerance for other people and wants vengeance. That's another energy that will really, really throw you off. If something happened where you were betrayed or you didn't get what was owed to you, you have to have faith that the universe will take care of that and try and let that go. Not because you deserve it or you should feel like it was justified. No, it's not justified. But the more you hang on to that anger and pain, the more you keep yourself surrounded with an energy of lack, right? Which is what this Five of Cups is talking about. And then it makes it really hard for the energies to balance. It just stays it stays in the reverse and you want it to be balanced. And if you can just start to focus sort of towards the future, you can start to visualize what it would look like for your ships to come in. This is like an energy of manifestation, right? So the Three of Wands is talking about that forward momentum looking towards the future. But visualize exactly what it would feel like to have that victory, exactly the way you want it to come into being. You know, if you want there to be slow progression of success, something that is manageable, then take control of that. Visualize that. The Nine of Cups is talking about luxury and satisfaction and feeling like we're completely fulfilled in our life, and the Six of Wands is talking about victory. You can have that in your life, 100%. It can be yours. It's just a matter of you visualizing what you want. And when I say that, I mean in detail, really, really, really being clear with the universe that I would like to have a clear direction forward with my business. I want to have complete know-how of how I'm going to market my business, which, or, you know, in reality, you should actually be describing it as if it's already happening in your life. Like, I have unlimited abundance. Money effortlessly flows towards me. I have an endless supply of clients. They are satisfied and fulfilled by the work that we do together. They see me as a benefit to their life. You know, whatever you want, right? Like, you can describe it in whatever terms feels right to you. But just try and be optimistic and maybe journal. That can always be a really, really, really good way of manifesting for the future. just pick up a dollar store like blank notebook where you can just on a day-to-day basis write down something that you're grateful for and something that you want in your life. Write both of them as if they're already happening, because you are on the right path. You might feel like you're not, right? You might feel like, oh, but like if I was on the right path, why would I feel like I'm hitting this brick wall? And it's all because of the shadow work. And you might have actually been trying to do shadow work. Sometimes we get paused on shadow work because of planetary alignments. You know, like we are eager to heal faster than the universe wants us to, which is so frustrating. But you just have to have faith that everything is working out as it's meant to. And in that case, you not healing faster is likely it's likely connected to other people. There's other people that are going to play a role in your life, maybe friends and colleagues that you're going to connect with, and they are healing at a particular pace, and the universe is slowing you down so you're progressing at the same pace, which can be frustrating. But in the long run, once you have your major success and your complete fulfillment, you won't care about that. You'll be happy. You'll be happy that everything that went at the pace it did, because it gave you the ultimate outcome that you were seeking, which is great. So let me get some final cards for you, some final guidance from the universe on what you can do to overcome this obstacle. What can pile number 3 do to overcome the obstacle? Okay, let's see. So you got ascension. Your soul is evolving to a higher state of consciousness. You are ready for this. It feels like the energy is going to start gaining momentum. It's just a matter of getting through this retrograde period, diving into the shadow. I know, and they're saying one last time. My guides are saying that. So just dive into the shadow one last time. Release the things that are painful. It feels to me like you're a seasoned vet when it comes to this. Like you've done this before. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're aware of the energies of the planets or Mercury retrograde's effects on us. And it's just a matter of you just allowing the whatever, pain from the past that bubbles up this time to just come up to the surface, release it. And then the wheels are going to start moving forward. You got inner worlds. Your external world is a reflection of your inner world. Yes, exactly what I was talking about. Like if you are holding on to resentment, it's going to hold you in a lower vibration, which keeps you experiencing that same pain, because ultimately you do learn something from that. There is a benefit to everything that happens in our life, even if the benefit is experiencing pain, right? Because we learn how to empathize with others. And if you're in a position where you're going to be helping other people in some capacity, and it could be you're a healer, but it could be that, you are an athlete and you're trying to start a coaching business where you're going to help, other athletes hone their skills in their body, and you're having struggles and pain. Well, whatever struggles and pain you're going through in that role, you're going to help the people that are going to be trying to hone their bodies and, perfect their athletic skills, right? Because you're going to come across people that are faced with the exact same things that you've gone through. Surrender. Surrender your need to control the outcome. Just be with life in this present moment. Exactly. And it's so hard. It's so hard. I will be honest with you. There are plenty of days where I'm like, what is this happening? So I've had to come to terms with this, and it's a struggle every single time it happens. I'm like, how many more cycles of shadow work do I have to do? It's like the never ending cycle of shadow work. And so far I haven't reached the end. But things got a lot better. a lot better. And success started to come to me. and it started to make sense, and it started to be worthwhile. And now I'll go through a painful phase, and then it'll be like a day later, I'll be connected with a new client who's experiencing what I just finally completed. And I finally have the skills to be able to help this person. And that's how I see the divine timing literally happening in front of me. And I have faith, and I can have more patience. You've got stillness. Reflect on this moment with love, kindness, and compassion. Have compassion for yourself and have stillness, right? Go into meditation if that suits you, if that feels natural to you. There's lots of ways you could be in stillness, though. I mean, you could go on walks. You could, maybe you like to, I'm seeing a boat in my mind. Maybe some of you guys have a boat and you like to sit on the water. Maybe you like to fish. There's a bunch of different ways, but it's basically just breathing, finding peace, read a book, do the things that you love, basically, so that you can like have more compassion. And just know, I want to drill this into your head, right? You are doing everything that you needed to do. There isn't one thing that you missed. There's not one message that Spirit tried to get to you to help you to succeed in your life that you missed. You did it all. It's just a matter of divine timing. And I hope that that helps you. I know that it's frustrating, but you didn't miss anything. You're on it. It's just a matter of shadow work and divine timing. Gaia, connect to the pulse of Mother Earth. She will guide you through this time of change. Ground your energy. Go outside. Spend time with your pets, your kids, your friends. Throw a frisbee around. Just walk on grass without shoes on. Watch the birds. Like, I've been walking around my neighborhood just seeing all of the beautiful birds start to reappear again. And I've been seeing cardinals all over the place, and they're always so magical to me. Like, whatever it is that brings you to a place of peace in nature, do that. If there's something that you do outside that helps you to see some wonder and magic, do that. It can really help you. You got the blue star. Follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides in your soul. Yes, this is crazy because this card has come out in literally every single pile. It's so crazy. This is all divinely guided. This is all going to take you towards what you're meant to be doing in this life. Your divine purpose. Like, this is what your heart is calling you to do. So don't think for a second that you're off track. You know exactly what you need to do. Celebration! Celebrate your achievements. You truly are a gift to the universe. Yes, that's the main theme that came through here too. Celebrate the victories that you're having, even if they're little, because you earn them, and they're popping up to sort of help you to sort of get through this waiting period. So the victories will be little, right? Because they're little and manageable, and you can celebrate them and get through the shadow, and then it's mega success, right? Because the 6 of Wands and the 9 of Cups indicate that. This is like major landslide success. You're going to have everything that you wanted. I love this. I'm so excited for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Don't forget about the contest. Subscribe to the channel and comment on this video to enter the contest. If anyone is interested in having a one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my booking information and services are available there. I do tarot card readings, channeling and mediumship. I dive into the Akashic records. I can look at your past lives. I do Reiki, crystal healing, and I also do spiritual coaching, which is basically a live tarot card session where I channel and I can give you guidance on literally anything that's going on in your life. It's all conducted via Zoom. So if you feel inclined to like and share this reading, that would be a huge help to me. And I hope I see you guys in the next reading. Take care.